Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome back. Welcome to Detox tonight. What is it? Wednesday evening. Let's see if we got the evening crew. Who's joining us tonight? Alberto. Good evening. Nikita. Hope you guys are doing well. Nice to have you both. Hey, what's up, Alex? Nice to practice with you. Andre, Sasha, good evening. So you guys know if you have a yoga block, obviously have that with you. Have your stack. I think most of you have been here before, so anything that might be supportive for your practice. And then if you want music, you can choose any detox playlist that's on my Spotify. Hi, Emily. And we'll give it about one more minute as people are still logging in. What's up, K-Sue? We do have quite the detox fam going on here, which is great. Personally, I mean, it spoils me personally to be here in the practice with you guys. So it just feels so good in the body. I mean, I remember when we started it, a bit into the first quarantine and doing it every night. Kimberly said it last week. You do detox so that you can have a fresh body and a cleared out perspective for the practice that's coming next of your flow. And it just keeps, at first I know it feels heavy and it's like going through the weeds and things are coming up, but you hit a stride maybe, something like 10 years into practicing. I'm just kidding. But there's no timeline to it. Right? You just hit some weeds and you go through it and you let things come up, and one day things don't come up at all, and you find yourself quite rested in the poses. But I know it's not always that way, so take it in stride. Hey, Roz. Yeah, you remember when we started, it does feel, we've really broken the attachment of time over the course of several months. All right, looks like we got our crew tonight. So let's start in supine Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana means butterfly, reclining butterfly pose. So on your back. Okay, I'm guessing the sound quality is okay. You guys would have let me know otherwise if I was coming in like a robot. If you have something as part of your stack that you want to slide underneath your outer thighs, if your knees just flop open and your outer thighs touch the ground, that's great, but most people's don't. So if you have anything you want to put underneath the outer hips or the outer thighs to support you, I haven't mentioned this in a while in Detox, but it's all up to doing what feels intuitive and supporting your body. Once you create the general idea of the shape, put things underneath you so that you can release. The objects, we call them props or the stack. By no way are they a crutch. They're actually in the opposite of that. When you start to understand and build and this intention of why you're here, why you're on your mat, and tonight. And it's okay even if your practice right now is a nice little getaway. It's still It's still real. It's still part of your reality. It's not that you're escaping reality in any way. And it's okay if it feels like it just kind of takes you out. Remember, the whole thing, the whole world, it's all energy. We work with our minds and to engage a perspective where we can understand how minuscule and how tiny and how, we're like this little speck of dust in relation. And so, what an incredible, incredible reality it is to be a human being. Like, you're a human being. Not every living species has been gifted with the tools and the resources and that we have as human beings. And so let's tap into some further or deeper awareness and tonight. And you notice how general the word awareness is. It means it's wide open and for you to discover. I'll guide you there in different ways, but I'll never tell you what it is. And that's the fun part. Take the arms into a relaxed position if they're not there. And then when you're in the poses, unless you're sitting on a part of your stack or something, you want to clear anything that, may be touching you. And like if you were doing this next to your sofa, and when you lie down and your arm relaxed by your side, if it was touching the sofa, foot of the sofa, then just bring the arms in a little bit. And whatever brought you to your mat tonight, that's okay too. We don't have to have a contest of determining what brings us to our mats if we've wound up or ended up on our mat. We're in the right place at the right time. You can begin to move your knees back up. Take your time. As your knees eventually turn all the way up towards the ceiling, your feet are flat. It's going to widen or broaden space across the back of your hips and your sacrum, which we got into a few evenings ago. nice and flat. And some of those sensations you may have been having in your sacrum last evening, you may find are not there any longer. And so your body is repairing itself. Your practice is reducing the chronic inflammation inside the body. And scoot your hips over to the right just a bit. And then turn onto your left-hand side. Knees up towards your chest, and so you're in a little ball in the fetal position. And let all the weight come down into your left shoulder. So notice we're not lifting the arms tonight. The head come down over the shoulder towards the ground. If it's having a hard time meeting the ground, you can always slide part of your stack underneath the side of your head. But this will be a different sensation in your shoulders, in your neck, and perhaps even down into your hips. And stay here on your left-hand side. Reach your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. And not really strengthening it, floating it up towards the ceiling. And then you want your knees to stay stacked. So if you need to, just rest your left hand on your right thigh. And so your legs don't move. And then you're going to start to drift with that top arm. And notice you're not strengthening, you're not pulling it down towards the ground. Feel the weight of gravity. And draw your arm back behind you. Most of you will not touch the ground. The arm will just hang out in space. And notice how what you're doing with your arm, in effect, and does something to every single part of your body. You can't move your arm without affecting every other part, all the way down to your toes. Again, it's okay if the arm drifts in space, if it can touch the ground without moving the knees, deepening the twist, soften the belly. You can certainly let the arm come down to the ground. Let the twist be as wide open as it possibly can. And without forcing it, and we'll sit for about 1 more minute. This twist has gone pretty deep. So just bend your right arm so your hand comes closer to your shoulder. And it's going to take some of the weight out of your spine. And then you roll back onto your left side so your right elbow turns up. And as you come onto your left side, let your head rest. And your right arm can lay over your chest. Feel it as we make our way onto our backs. And right leg goes long. And let that roll you back onto your hips. And then rest both arms down by your sides. And come into the rebound, the release. And the energy, the flow through your spine. And from your chest all the way down and through your knees, you'll feel this. And release. And once you get set, let yourself be still. The teacher that empowers you is named stillness. Nice to see where you go in those rebounds, less attached than when you started. Move your legs slowly, bring your feet onto the mat. And we're going to set up onto our right side. So fetal position. You get there when you get there. And keep your arm down by your side, so a little different in feeling. And with your head over your shoulder, coming down towards the mat. You can adjust the knees up a little bit higher. And settle and soften, please. And keep your legs as they are. Float your left arm up towards the ceiling. You're neither pushing or pulling. You just let gravity bring your left arm back behind you. And your right hand can rest on your left thigh. If the knees can stay and the arm comes all the way down, that's fine. Take your time, head to center first. You feel the weight of your left arm as you start to bring it back up. And then eventually coming back onto your right side. And then once you get back onto your side, you can roll your hips back onto the mat. And go ahead and release the legs straight, heels apart, and big toes out. And you can find a nice resting position for your arms by your sides. Make any adjustments if you need to, and enjoy the rebound, the space. Bring yourself back with a breath. A nice big inhale. Soft and subtle, but full exhale. You can bend your legs, bring some movement into your hands. And take a stretch, arms over your head. You roll back through your left side and make your way up to all fours, and so you're in a tabletop. Slide your right knee forward so your right knee is coming towards the top of your mat. And then slide your left knee back. It's different than pigeon because your right heel is directly below your bum. And then we're going to lean forward, and so that you can tuck your right arm behind your right knee. So get your forearm tucked in, and then you might feel this. So that's what your left elbow is there for. And start to crawl your left knee back, and your hips are going to come down. It's like a clamp over your right arm, a calf smash. You can go anywhere from really uncomfortable to a level of discomfort that you're willing to sit with. So please make any adjustments here in the first 30 seconds or so. And you can use your left forearm as a prop and to rest your forehead. But we're going for a sensation in the back part of your right leg and your calf. Remember, every part of your body is connected to every part of your body, so what you're experiencing in your calf is affecting your shoulder, your arms, all the way down, and to your legs and back through the top of your head. Not too long in the calf smash. We'll stay for about 30 more seconds. First part, start to lift your head away from the ground. You lean back to the left a little bit. As you lift your bum, it just takes an inch or two, and then you can straighten your right arm out behind you. You bring your right arm around in front. Keep leaning off to the left, and then slide your right leg straight out behind you. Release the hips and turn the elbows out, and let's make a little head rest. So stack your palms and let your right cheek come down onto the back of your hands. And feel that release down the back of your right leg. And let's bring your chin back to center. And take your left arm out into a T if you need to scoot yourself over a little bit to the right on your mat. And so your left arm is freely onto the ground into a T. And then we're going to roll that right hip open and get onto your left side body. Your right hand can support you. And then the right leg and goes back behind. And you can put something underneath the side of your head, or if it works out, let your head go all the way down onto the ground. If you're feeling wobbly, put a bend to your left leg so more of your outer thigh is coming across the mat. And then that'll catch you in a place where you can still without holding on with your muscles. If you want to go just a bit further, put a bend to that right leg, and so that your foot goes flat onto your mat. If you bent your right leg, start to straighten it back out. Use your right hand as a brake to slowly untwist and bring your belly and your chest back onto the ground. Right elbow comes around underneath. Slide your left arm all the way down by your side. And your right arm, your right hand, turn your right cheek. And then go ahead and rest here. Release, let the left arm really soften from the shoulder and below. And sometimes you can really drift off in these rebounds, and so let a breath. And of course, the instructor reminds you, come back. And turn the chin, bring your left elbow back underneath your chest. And we'll make our way up to all fours, tabletop. There's absolutely no rush in moving around or coming into the next posture. And so as you get to your tabletop, slide your left knee forward. And so we're going to do the calf smash and getting our left forearm in between our lower leg and our upper leg on the left side. And so lean forward a little bit, lift your bum, and tuck your left forearm as much as you can in behind your knee. Feel it there at first, but once you start to walk your right knee back down, then you'll feel the clamp of the leg over the forearm. And make good use of your right arm, and creates a little stack and a prop for your head to rest on. And remember, a place where the discomfort is something that you can settle and soften into versus something that's just going to pull you out and have you, battling the entire time. And this one, it's really nice just to relax the muscles on the face and let the jaw release. You'll notice that your lips are naturally parted. You'll notice because of the compression of your left forearm, your fingers are naturally curled in. If you want to try something, try to open your left hand right now, because all the muscles that you use to extend your fingers are being compressed with your legs. So it's really hard your left hand. And then as soon as you stop the effort of opening the hand, and the fingertips just curl right back into the palm. more minute on this side. Bring your forehead back to center and then hover. Lean a little bit to the right. Lift your bum an inch or so, and then you can start to extend that left arm. And so it comes out. And then bring your left elbow forward. You lean to the right a little bit more. And then you can get your that left leg into release back behind you. Release the hips and the belly. Stack your palms. And we'll go left cheek onto the hands. Make a little pillow. Enjoy the rebound. Let's turn the forehead back to center. Take your right arm out into the T. And once you got your right arm out there, left hand beside your chest. And then we'll roll onto that right outer hip. Bring your left leg out behind you. Keep it straight to start. As you let it land, and then your head. You can put something underneath your head. You can feel if the head, and we'll rest all the way down onto the ground. And if you're feeling a little wobbly, remember just bend your right leg so more of your outer thigh is going across the mat. you'd like to explore taking it any deeper, and place your foot flat onto the ground. If you put a bend to your left leg, start to release that bend. And use your left hand as we roll ourselves back onto our belly. Elbow can come forward. And release the right arm all the way down by your side. And with your left arm out in front, you can use that as a headrest. And turn the left side of your head onto your hand. And come into the release. No rush, hover your head. And bring your right elbow back underneath. You move your way up to your hands. And then crawl your knees forward, sit onto your heels if you would like a sip of water or anything else before you lie down onto your back. Go ahead and take a sip. And then off to a hip. Swing your legs around. And we'll lie down onto our backs in our final Shavasana tonight. If you have something, since we're moving, that you want to use to cover your eyes, or if you want to put a blanket over your entire body And you're welcome to do that. Relax out, take up as much space as you have. And it's all about exploring this deeper sense of awareness and peace and loving kindness and awareness. And may all beings experience peace, loving kindness, and a deeper understanding of awareness. All beings. I invite you all to continue to rest in your Shavasana. You've been practicing now for a while, so if you have any questions about your detox practice or the experiences that you're having, please don't hesitate to reach out via email or on our Instagram. You can send me a message anytime, even if you just want to share, what's going on. I know what's going on with me. You know what's going on with you. Right? All we know is that we're sharing this space, and in many ways a nonverbal form of communication energetically, and it really spans across the world. So our community and our support and structure and the basis of that is much greater than what we normally define it as and with our minds. So we're here. And take care tonight. Have a nice rest. Drink plenty of water. I need to do the same. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, and then again tomorrow evening for detox. Have a beautiful night, everyone. Namaste.